tried another one, and they said no. So you have to just keep trying, because one community had one of these wellness businesses. So if they wanted a yoga teacher or a tennis teacher or a whatever, the organization took care of it, and so they weren't even, you know, going to talk to me. Another one asked me if I lived there, and I said no. Well, you can't teach. I said, I mean, your people can't have yoga just because you don't have a yoga teacher living there. So I suppose if I wanted to pursue that a little bit more, I probably could have, but I didn't. You know, it was kind of, I keep thinking about James's thing about follow the yeses, what you just said. I love that. You know, just hearing that too. So right now I'm teaching 8 classes. 6 of them are at the senior communities, and 2 are at a community center. And I'm going to digress just for a tiny moment, because this is how these things happen. I went into a gift shop, beauty salon area, and I told her that I was teaching at the community center, and I said I'm having a hard time there. And she said, "I'll give me one of your flyers." So she put it up in her window. So somebody came, they saw the flyer and they came. So I went back to that store to say, "Thank you, I really appreciate that." And she said, "You know, I'm really going to come to your class at the community center, but I'm not ready yet." And I said, "You know, I had this idea. What if I came to you? What if we set up chairs in this back room she had for crafts?" And so she contacted me over the weekend. She already has 7 people signed up. And so I'm going to meet her on Tuesday. And there's another class that just evolved. That's kind of sometimes how it happens. So you never know where it's going to come from. Okay, so when Sherry asked me to do this, I just kind of thought, okay, these are the steps that I took, and sometimes I was shocked to see what I had to do. So you can buy business cards anywhere, but you have to have a business card. Now mine's a little special because I have this little statue, which is the same thing. It's my first tattoo was and her name is Serenity. Okay, and my business is called Serenity Yoga. So it took a little more to create this kind of card, but I don't think it matters what kind of card we have. But you do need a fictitious business name a lot of times from the county clerk's office. And I gave you just the information there. It has to be published, and then you renew it every 5 years, just so you know what's going to be happening. I'm literally an independent contractor. I'm like a mobile studio. So where Sherry has her studio, I take my studio with me, and you'll see pictures of that. You need a city business license. In my city, it's $75. And I also needed a note from the Homeowners Association to say that they had a need for me, which they did, and they were very kind to do that. I'm not sure that that's going to happen everywhere. You need liability insurance because you're going to have to show that, and you need your teacher certificate. So those are the things that you have to have before you even can go to the door. So then you go contact them, and I went into the larger community. It's called Sun Lakes. It's probably 3,500 homes. We have about 1,200 in the community where we live. And I think the yoga teacher had a nervous breakdown or something. Anyway, she was not showing up for classes. She was not telling anybody that she wasn't going to be there. So her students were there milling around. And anyway, she got a rather bad reputation. And they basically fired her, is what they ended up doing. So they offered me one of her classes. And the other class, they were like watching a video, like these people have been talking about. That's all they did. They come every week and they watch a video. So we went from that one to, then I took over the second one. And these are Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday, Thursday classes. And they're nice classes because you get to do them twice a week. So that's kind of how I got started. So I wanted to make sure that you understand that you need to go in and see these people. They need to talk to you. So I didn't know Sherry didn't look at resumes or whatever, but I agree too that for a yoga teacher, I know that's not how you get jobs nowadays, but for yoga So once you have the job, you have to contact your insurer, and one is I encourage my students to buy their own. And I buy them for them, and I don't get any money for it. I just buy them for them. If I pay $10 for it, I charge them $10 for it. It just works out better sometimes because I think, because I do these retreats also, I probably have 80 blankets.
Wow.
Okay, so I got to store those somewhere. Most of them are in my car. So you will see the picture down here. I'm going to show you what my car looks like. Blocks and straps, $5 at Yoga Accessories. That's where I go. You might have a favorite place. Eye bags, like we were talking about, I ask them to buy their own. I don't want them to use somebody else's. Sometimes for new people, I'll let them, just try it out. But my neighbor makes them. It's a little cottage industry here. They're made with rice, and she just uses a quilting material. Yeah. And I think people enjoy it. Oh, here, which one do you want? So that's an easy thing to do. Bolsters, I did restorative yoga for years, and those are expensive. Those are $40+ to buy bolsters. And let me tell you, 12 bolsters piled up are a lot of bolsters. And I used to do restorative yoga and carry all that stuff.
Oh.
So I haul it in and I haul it out. So
do you have to buy 10 or more to get that $40?
You might. I haven't bought them in a long time. They're $45 and they
Yoga accessories, those green ones there.
Yeah.
A couple times a year they go on sale for 45% off.
Okay.
Oh,
And that's when I buy them.
Oh.
And I think that makes them $23.
And Yoga accessories?
No, yoga accessories.
Oh, the
But
same
when they
way.
have their sale.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only happen on it and then I wait. Once I know they do it, I wait.
Yeah. Oh, no. Right under the pictures here. I am an independent contractor. The students pay me directly. I set my own rates. I have nothing to do with the homeowners association or anything. So I collect my own money, and I'm just a little reminder there because I didn't do that at first. You need to set aside money for taxes. Okay. So that all just kind of goes into your your personal income. So I offer all kinds of discounts. So the drop-in rate is $10 per class or $7 for my chair class. And that's just a drop-in rate. And sometimes it's really interesting. The chair people sort of like to just pay $7 every time. I don't know why. I discount by $10 if they pay once a month. So if it's a 4-week month, I charge them $30. So it comes down to about $7 something for the $10 class. And then if they take 2 classes per week, I started this when I first went there, and I was so nervous that nobody was going to come that, I discounted myself practically out of business here. But anyway, if you take 2 classes, you get an extra $10, and if you couples, I give them extra on top of that. So I use class sign-in sheets as well, and I do it kind of an attendance paid thing. And I finally, to be honest with you, I finally just have a friend now that helps me with all of that, because I really love to teach yoga, and I really don't love to sit there and do all that bookkeeping stuff. I don't want to make copies of all my checks. I might have 40 checks. I love it. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not good at that. So I have a friend who needed a little part-time work, and we worked it out. And she's the one that does a lot of my flyers. They don't charge you, so that's really, really good. The reason they don't charge you is they want to have a litany of classes that they can show their residents or potential residents. Oh, look what we offer. We have 2 yoga classes, and we have jazzercise, and we have Zumba, and blah, 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 blah. So that's why they're usually happy to have you there. But I want to just make, I know Sherry made the comment that she makes 20% less, 20% of her income. Okay. All of this depends on how many people come to your classes. So if you have 6 people, for instance, for a month, you get $180. If you have 20 people, 600, big difference in how much you earn. So I would be very leery of somebody giving up their day job to go try and pay their bills with yoga. Because could be, yeah. It's just my experience has been that if you're supplementing your income, then it's okay. Because it depends on who comes, and it doesn't matter who you are. They have all kinds of issues. I'll tell you that in the back. Okay, let's go to the next page. I'm not trying to downplay it. I just want to be honest about it because it's. I hate people that go in there and say, "Oh, being a yoga teacher, you're going to make $1 million," you know. It's really not true. So, okay, let me talk about the pictures first because we didn't have time to put little. So there's usually monitors. These are usually young boys because they don't pay them anything. And they unload the blankets and put them on the cart and they take them in for me. I've taught them how to fold blankets. So now I can be talking to students and they'll be over there folding blankets. Deborah folds blankets. Anybody that can help me, I really utilize them, you know, because you know how it is. Students want to talk to you after class, so you have to kind of make yourself available. So anyway, they're very helpful. I tip them. Just by the way, I give them a Christmas bonus, and I give them $50 because I know what did I do without them, you know. So, and they love the money. Sometimes I give them a Visa card, sometimes I give them cash. Okay, time slots in these kind of environments. Those are all governed by the recreation department. You have absolutely no say. Period. End of sentence. So you be flexible and take whatever they have to offer and wait your turn, because that's how it operates. We were just at a meeting with all the people that teach, and the recreation department said there are no class slots for anything available. Everything is full. They have 3 clubhouses, mind you. They have a huge one with a ballroom, and they have a north and a south clubhouse. Nothing is available. So that is just something you have to go along with. So if your class that I fell into starts at 7:30 in the morning, guess what? You're there at 7:30 in the morning, happy and smiling, because there's all your students there. So they'll come to me and say, "Oh, I don't want to go there." And I say, "I'm really sorry." And they say, "Yeah, I know, it's Sun Lakes." You know, because that's how it is. You just don't have any choice in the matter. So now what happened is we were lucky enough. They put us in a very small multi-purpose room when we first started. And the chair class grew, and we were crammed. Not where I live, they don't have a space, but at Sun Lakes, they allow me to use a storeroom. So I leave all my mats, because they're heavy to bring, and you know, one more thing to carry in my car. I leave my mats and my blocks and my straps. All are in this little storage room. So that makes it really, really nice. And usually the boys will set up for me if she hasn't beat them to it. So, yeah, that works out really good. Yeah, ask me any questions if you want along the way here. Okay, advertising. What page are we on? 5. Okay, so how am I doing this time? Ooh. Okay, so advertising is usually free. Your classes are listed with everyone else's in a monthly newsletter. And you can present an in-depth article if you're starting a new class or you want to reach more people. So I did this, and I thought this was really neat. They let me use all of this space in their Lifestyles magazine, which is a glossy thing, because I wanted to explain about my 3 different classes, because I offer a chair, a gentle, and a yoga for seniors. And I wanted people to understand that they could move between all of those. And that's been one of the best things that I've been able to do, and it's the only place I can do it. So my friend that helps me with the, if you can see it in color, it's really kind of a cool little flyer. I give her the information, and then she kind of puts it together, because I don't do that kind of stuff. I leave these flyers out all the time in like a rack, and they disappear. And I keep saying, what are they doing? Using them for placemats? They're not coming to my class, but where are they? But that's fine. I just go over to Staples, and it's on a disc, and I have them, you know, made up. So, so advertising is free. I tried advertising when I was doing outside classes. I spent oodles of money. I got no people from that. I would never recommend doing that. So this is a good way to do it. Now, I'm going to skip the retreat right now, so if you can kind of, I'll come back to it. I just want to make sure I finish up with, you know, the pros and the cons, because that's really kind of important. So go to page 10. Okay, so these pictures are in the ballroom. And it's one of those big rooms where, you know, you pull the doors across. It's all carpeted. So I want you to notice the poses they're doing. So this is, we're going to continue this game. I said to them, what do you want to do? Because your picture is going to be coming to this, you know, conference. And they said, well, what was it they said we shouldn't be doing? And they said, we want to do that. So there we are.
Okay, I want you to teach them Miss Sassy Pants because that was very sassy.
They bought into that. It was totally
yeah,
funny.
That's
Because
awesome.
I said, okay, let's do, you know, I don't know, triangle or something. And they said, oh, what was that one? And then they said, oh, let's do one better. Let's do plank.
Yeah.
And I want you to know, this guy here in the front, he's a 300-pound boy.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, and he's doing plank. And he's so proud of himself. I mean, it's wonderful,
Awesome.
you know. I'd say most of the people in that class are 70s to 80s, early 80s, you know. So anyway, so that's my little story. Anyway, it's like the white elephant that follows you around. Okay, so the pros. The students are really dedicated. They really are dedicated. They tell me that they love the class and they're so glad I'm there, and that's really great feedback. So you, I feel, are responsible then for being on time, being prepared, being positive, and I want to add also compassionate. You know, my husband says, you're probably the weirdest yoga teacher ever. I'm all over them. If somebody is sick, I'm sending cards. I send notes to them. I got some little Serenity yoga notes, and if I'm missing someone, I do that. It's that personal touch. They don't, you know, they're not totally into email. So that's just something that I do, and maybe I create a lot of work for myself, but it makes me feel good. So I'm just sharing that with you. So you have a built-in audience that can reach the clubhouse. A lot of them drive their golf carts to the clubhouse because it's all inside. And some of them have those little electric carts, and they'll even come in that. So you never know. We had an incident with this one lady, and her cart wouldn't start, and we had to load her up and take her to her house, you know. So you never know what you're going to run into there, but it's all good. So now this is the thing I love. And I love doing this. If there's availability, you can custom create your classes. Now you can do that at a studio, but most people cannot do that. They don't have that option to do that. But in a senior community, if they allow you and there's the time and the space, you can do that, which allows people who were in my gentle class and now have, one lady has MS and she's regressing, so she's in the chair class. Another lady has some vertigo problems, she's in the chair class. And the older lady, she just can't hear or see very well now, so she's moved into there. And then saying that, some of the chair people have moved on to the gentle class, and then the gentle can move into the what's kind of like a intermediate class. So that really makes it nice. So if you hang in there and you're willing to only teach a few students, I thought my chair class was never going to go anywhere. I had like 5 or 6 people, and it was like, oh my gosh. Should I keep it? Should I not keep it? What's wrong? We advertised, you know, they did everything they could to help me. But if you hang in there eventually, it's going to change. So, and they talk to each other. So you may never see this anywhere else, but they play bridge together, they play golf together, they go out to dinner together, they party together, they do all of these things together. So your best advertisement is word of mouth. It's them talking to each other. And I find that in my chair class a lot. Oh, my neighbor wants me to come. And so I decided I was just going to try, you know. So that really works good. But you've got to be patient. And they have the chair class. The demographics at Sun Lakes have changed because the community has been there for 25 years.
So the 60-year-olds are now 80. So what happens is, when I first started there, I was about 4 or 5 years ago, I had some 80-year-olds. Well, then, you know, the 80-year-olds get almost 90 and they have issues. And they leave, they go to assisted living. We have one right across from there. Most of them go there. They go with their kids, or they just can't take yoga anymore. And I only had one person pass away. But that's another thing. I go to the memorial, you know. I mean, he was my yoga student, so I'm going to honor him. And, but the whole energy changes when these people leave. So one of the jokes in class is there was a front row, and 4 of them are gone, okay? And it was like, don't sit in the front row because those people are gone, you know, so everybody wants to sit in the back. I mean, it's just a joke, but it's true, you know. One man had a stroke, then a couple of those ladies I was talking about, somebody had to go over to the assisted living, so nobody wants to sit in the front anymore. Okay. This is another thing that you have there. These people usually have oodles of time and enough money that they can do what they want to do. So when they leave for long periods of time. They leave for a month on an RV trip, they go to Europe, they go visit their kids, yada yada. So you have to understand that your classes are going to be in flux, and they'll be in flux for long periods of time, not just a week or 2. These people are gone for long periods of time. They could be recovering. One lady, she's still out, and it's been 2 months. So she's going to come back to my chair class and start back in the chair class. But when they're gone, they're really gone. So your income is going to vary. So you just need to pay attention to that, because you know, you can earn more, but then if they don't show up, then you don't earn hardly anything. So that's why I said in here, if you're responsible for paying rent and, you know, utilities, etc., you cannot count on a specific monthly income, so you have to have some backup. And then I just threw that in there because sometimes I used to be so disappointed. I would schedule classes and people would say they were coming, and then the day of the class they would say, oh, well, you know what, there's a bowling tournament and I'm going to go to that, you know. So a lot of times you have to be careful with that, because you set things up and you load your car up and you go there and you have, you know, 2 or 3 people. So regardless of all that, I love what I do. And I have yoga friends everywhere because I keep in touch with them when they move away.